but I'm convinced it's that can't beat this that you guys put up. I'll take that before the gym. Amy, thank you for those words. They were very inspiring. You've inspired me to even be more vocal and passionate about what I feel, if I wasn't enough, but that was good. Peter and Melissa, what a beautiful couple. Thank you for everything. Peter, you inspired me to hit the gym a little bit more for sure. But I love your worldly view and everything you were talking about, and Melissa, that wonderful way of approaching beauty from within, because I resonate with that. Okay, so yes, I'm a naturopathic doctor. We go to school for 4 years. I did a residency in oncology, seen a lot of sick people. And because of that, working in the conventional model, it made me be pushed to find out, well, what else is going on? Because in oncology, you see sick people and you go in, you get chemotherapy, radiation surgery, and you go home. No oncologist that I work with ever asked what else is going on dietarily, environmental exposures, hormones, whatever it is. So that kind of blew me away. Maybe I was overambitious and expected more, but I didn't see any of that. So coming out of the residency, I started to investigate that more. In med school, I was talking about glyphosate already, and they thought I was a conspiracy theorist. Right? And all my validation came, unfortunately, with that ruling with the janitor who got $200+ million for the glyphosate damage, which was incredible. That was confirmatory, but I was saying for quite a while to my classmates that, hey, maybe we should pay a little bit more attention to this. So I do a lot of research on environmental toxins, particularly because we see that a lot in cancer. And not only cancer patients, but patients in general, I run these tests, but in cancer patients, 99% of these people, maybe 2 that I've seen, did not have glyphosate through the roof. And I'm talking about 80, 99 percentile. And you can measure this. That's just cancer patients, but I've seen healthy people still register for a pretty significant amount of glyphosate. It's dangerous, it's insidious, it's everywhere. So I was always inspired to talk about it for quite a while. Now Sonia came out of left field on Instagram and she goes, hey, I got this product that's really good with this glyphosate stuff. I said, okay. Again, because like Peter, I'll get supplement companies reaching out for this reason, right? Hey, can you represent us? I am so OCD in particular about who I represent and why. But Sonia was really pushing, so she said, I can send you some products. I said, don't send the products, send the studies or send me some literature. And I'm gonna get more into biomedic, but it's pretty impressive. And then I started learning more about the company, and the company is excellent. And you're looking at someone who does their due diligence. I look at even what's in the capsules and what the capsules are made out of. So I'm very proud to use it myself and to recommend it to patients. Okay? All right, so the hottest topic in my industry, and actually the healthcare industry is gut health. Everyone talks about it, and rightfully so. We haven't in the scientific community really known much about the digestive system or the microbiome since 2005. That's when we started really mapping what's going on. And we know there's a lot of critters in there, good ones and some pathogenic ones that cause a lot of damage. But it responds very intimately to the things we give it, the food, the environment, right? What is it exposed to? It's very delicate. These bugs pretty much match our cells 1-to-1 ratio. So we're made of not only our cells, but we're made of bacteria too, right? So what are we made out of? Yeah, I don't know, but maybe I'm just a walking bacteria with a blue coat on up here, but some
friendly bacteria.
A friendly bacteria, one of the good ones, not the pathogenic ones causing damage. Yeah, but glyphosate. Let me go back a little bit. When glyphosate came into the public, it was run through the FDA and the EPA and all these governmental agencies, and they gave it an okay because they said it was safe because it doesn't affect our system, doesn't affect our cells. There is a pathway that glyphosate utilizes to cause the damage that it does, right? It kills the bugs, it's a pesticide, it's an herbicide, right? So to do it, it utilizes the bacteria's shikimate pathway. That's a pathway, it's called shikimate. I'm good at science, I'm not good at spelling, but it's just trust me, it's Shimate. Yeah, of course, yeah. Like that, yeah. So, but that's a pathway that's utilized. And this pathway destabilizes cells and kills it, right? And they go, look, this is okay to put out in the public because human cells don't have that pathway. And I'm gonna take it lightly, but let's just say that they did their due diligence and they were like, okay, but maybe a little money under the table, corruption, because there's a lot of that crap out there. It came out and it started poisoning us. And I say poisoning us because our gut bacteria has that same pathway. Okay, so every single time that we are exposed to glyphosate in GMO foods, in non-GMO foods like wheat, oat, what we're doing is acting like an antibiotic to our digestive system, which is really disheartening because people want to stay away from it. But I have seen more gut issues in the clinics that I work in than 5-10 years ago. Or when I was in school, we didn't see it this way. Everyone, leaky gut, bloating, nausea, vomiting, bowel movement changes. So we have to really focus on our digestive system. And when I was in school, they said, if you're in doubt about what's going on, just treat the gut. And I was like, really? But it's so true because so much of our health, and we don't even know how much, comes from our digestive system. So much. We know that it helps our bowel movements. We know that it helps metabolize vitamins. And we know it helps stimulate the immune system. But now, over the years, we've been seeing that it modulates our mood, as we were talking about before. It's our second brain. We have the same amount of neurons that a small dog does in our gut. It's alive. We know that it affects our whole system, like cardiometabolic disease, heart disease, diabetes, are tightly and intimately tied to our gut health. Crohn's disease, anything under the sun, and watch over the next 10 years how much more is tied into it. Even cancer. This is why I haven't shut up about glyphosate for quite a while. It's not the only toxin, but it's the major one. It's the atomic bomb in a flourishing city. So on to biomedic, right? So finally I get these studies and I read it. And in medicine, we know there's cellular studies, and then there's animal studies, and there's human studies. And over time, I was researching, all right, well, I know people are exposed to glyphosate, so what can I do as a practitioner to help prevent this with education? But on a daily basis, what can I do? So I utilized some supplements, many of the ingredients that are in biomedic, but I utilized it because the animal studies show that you can bring it down with different sort of agents. And then there's no human studies, not at least until the point where Sonia sent me the study. And it's a small human study, but we saw it was very encouraging because not only did it reduce glyphosate in the body, but it also reduced inflammatory markers. And it's a generalized one called CRP. And CRP predisposes us even way past gut issues, heart disease, diabetes, muscle pain, joint pain. So these are the things we want to bring down in people in general. And then I did a talk in Tampa just about many things, but I talked about biomedic for a little bit. And for some reason, I saw Sonia laugh so much after this comment because she knew the answer to it already. But for me, I was like, well, whoever created biomedic is a genius because they must have been in the back and then researching everything and putting it all in one. But it's true because biomedic utilizes humic acid and fulvic acid, two things that have been shown to reduce in animals glyphosate. Okay, great. But on top of that, the inventor of biomedic utilized prebiotics and probiotics. These are so important because you can't just take probiotics and go, oh, that's going to populate my stomach and I never have to really do much again. We have to feed those guys, and you do that with prebiotics. And I believe it's chicory root that it was derived from. So it's so important to utilize both of them together, and that's what's in there. And then the wheat germ, right? Which has been shown to close up the gaps. You guys hear of leaky gut? I know that's a buzzword. There's so many heads. Yeah. So leaky gut is basically the junctions of the cells that line your digestive system, your intestines, open up when it's insulted by something, and then these molecules get out, foods, bacteria, viruses, things get out to the blood, and then lead to diseases down the road like autoimmune diseases and different joint pain, muscle pain, whatever it is. So leaky gut is a crappy thing, but the wheat there has been shown to close it up. So it's a beautiful, and I say beautiful because I'm into supplements, as you can't tell, but it is a beautiful, beautiful mixture of ingredients. Something cool about Biomedic, I was 2 days ago, I was over here in the Hollywood clinic that I work in, and I was sitting with the front desk girl on break, and we were chatting, and she goes, Dr. Gonzalez, I haven't been pooping for a long time, and I want people to poop because you have to. I'm so big on detox. You guys got to be pooping every day. And she goes, I pooped once a week. I go, really? Yeah, once a week. Imagine how uncomfortable that is. I swear on anything holy. She said, I've been doing so much better. I go, why? She goes, I've been taking this thing from, have you ever heard of Purium? How do you know about Purium? And then she goes, I've been taking Biomedic. I go, how do you know about and then all of a sudden I'm like, I've done talks with them. I started going all over the place. But it was pretty incredible because she said that made her regular. She didn't take it for GMOs. I don't even know if she knew what GMOs were, but she was pooping regularly. It's most likely because of what's in there, the probiotics, the prebiotics. She was so severely dysbiotic. There was an imbalance of the gut bacteria that it was now flourishing so much better after taking it for a week. So that was encouraging because now that opens up to me as a practitioner, not only the people who are concerned about glyphosate and want to detox, but the people who want to start pooping every day, right? And that's pretty amazing. So as I researched the line, and like I said, I'm very particular, and then started to know the company in itself, they would run it the way I would run a company, with integrity, making sure you guys will operate. You will lose money on a product to make sure that we're not putting crap in there. And that's how it should be, because I even work with professional companies that cut corners, and you can tell over the years. So it's a beautiful company, and I'm glad to speak at any time about this because it's wonderful to see and wonderful to be around high vibrational people. Yeah, and Sonia, am I missing anything?
You're amazing.
I have no questions. Yeah, questions.
Can you talk about SIBO?
Oh yeah, okay. So what we see, SIBO is another really popular thing that we see in medicine. And it's when those gut bacteria that's supposed to be hanging out in your colon start populating your small intestine, okay? And then we see very specific symptoms like bloating, gas, burping, maybe an hour or so after you eat. And then people register for this on different breath tests. It's not a good thing. You're not supposed to have bacteria there. It's something that is getting more and more rampant across the population. And it's called dysbiosis, when there's an imbalance of good bacteria. See, what happens is your good bacteria are like good upstanding citizens in LA. They're helping the community, they're mowing the grass, they're cleaning up the windows. And then those really bad bacteria that you're exposed to, it's like really crappy guys coming from a helicopter. And they're just slowly populating that community and stealing and breaking things and listening to crappy music, whatever it is. But dysbiosis means when those guys take over more than the good guys. Those good guys keep everything in check. When those bad guys take over, when they start eating up the food that you're bringing in, they're farting it out, and all those metabolites are becoming very inflammatory. They cause localized inflammation. This is why the balance is so important for us. Eat your prebiotic foods, but for me, I know that I'll take Biomedic every single day, and if I'm going out, I'll take it before, because I don't want to be the guy going, hey, did you put corn in there? How about, what did you cook it in? Canola oil? I don't want to be that guy. No one wants to be that guy. So instead, a blessing. I'm sorry if that guy's in the crowd. Sorry. The blessing is that Biomedic, at least I have something handy. So it was really funny when Sonia was here last, we went out to eat to a pizzeria. She pulled out her Biomedic, and I was pulling it out myself. I was like, oh, you got yours out? She's like, yeah. because we don't know what was in the pizza, but we were gonna enjoy it. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, there we go. Thank you. Any other questions from anyone? Yeah, hi.
So I would just first appreciate everything that you're saying and the studies and biomedic has personally changed my life. You know, I wasn't regular until I started taking it. Sometimes I'll take an extra just because I was born with a disability and so my body has more of a tough time. But one thing that I heard recently was one of our friends, he used to distribute Agent Orange when he was in the military. And so his attorney just won this big case. And someone I had met last week in Vegas told me 98% of the ingredients in glyphosate is Agent Orange. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. It's the same company. It's Monsanto. Bayer Monsanto now. It's the same company. It's just recycled. It's a horrible company. It's the opposite spectrum of Purium. Put it that way. Right? No integrity. Make a quick buck. Doesn't matter who's getting sick. And many people are. Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Can the issues that you're talking about with the gut, can they cause back pain, low back pain? I know a lot of people with low back pain.
Sure. It depends on how it's manifesting, right? Like you can even have bloating that is radiating to the lower back. The dysbiosis in itself could cause localized inflammation that is radiating to the back. The metabolites from the bad bacteria could be going systemically through leaky gut and causing muscle pain, joint pain. So 100%. And again, study-wise, we know what the gut bacteria does. Watch 5 years from now, we're gonna know it does so much more. That's where it is with microbiome study. It's like scratching the surface. If any GI doc's up here and he's like, I know everything about the microbiome, that person's lying. They don't know anything. We don't know anything yet. We just know a few things that it does. But we know things that do work, and we know prebiotics, foods, and supplements feed those good guys and maintain them, and probiotics help flourish. The thing is, we're so different. Diet dictates what's in our gut. Our genetics dictates what's in our gut. The way we grew up dictates what's in our gut. Were we in a bubble, or are we rolling around in the sand like a hippie child? That dictates what our gut bacteria is like. And it acquiesces to whatever we give it, right? So that's why we can't just take supplements, like we can't just take Biomedic and go, oh, I'm gonna have a really crappy diet, now it's time to go to KFC. It doesn't work that way. As Peter was saying, he's passionate about understanding the diet and taking things from different people, what works for them. So we should maximize our diet and our lifestyle so it complements everything as a whole, right? And giving these guys love, right? They're like our little pets. And we just gotta give them love, right? Be grateful for your gut bacteria.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
How can people find you if they want you to be their doctor? Are you still taking patients, telemedicine, or what are you doing?
Yeah, so I have a clinic in Santa Monica, I have a clinic in Hollywood, and I do telemedicine for those who are outside of the state or just don't want to drive in that traffic that everyone experiences here. Info at Doc Gonzalez, DocGonzalez.com, or on Instagram. You could just DM me. People just DM me. They'll be like, hey, let's chat.
Cool.
So, and I do everything. I love kids. I just don't see kids. But I do everything else.
I have a bachelor's in kinesiology. You inspired me to take that to the next level and become a naturopath. Can you talk about how you did it and what you would recommend?
Sure. Yeah. That's amazing. Awesome. And you'll be a good one. As long as you got passion. I went to University of Bridgeport in Connecticut. As Sonia mentioned, I was going to be a dentist. My personal story, my mom got diagnosed with cancer when I was in school, and I was like, oh, no. Like, I gotta stop for a little bit. I was very displeased with the way the medical industry approached cancer. I remember asking oncologists, hey, what can my mom eat? Because I didn't know back then. I was a young college guy. And they said she needs to be eating calorically dense foods. Pizza, cake, yeah. I know Melissa's really into food, and I see that face she's doing right now. Yeah, her mouth dropped. Yeah, no, I swear, they told me calorically dense food, and then they gave me Boost and Ensure, and I looked at these shakes, and I go, you guys know, sugar. I knew what GMOs were back then, but I'm like, corn. So I said, no. I left dental school, when I found out what naturopathic school was. Universe, synchronicity, I found out what naturopathic school was at the same exact time as I was going through this, so it was no question. And dentists are cool, but I think what I'm doing is a little bit cooler right now, so. I'm sorry if there's any dentists in the crowd.
So that you don't like kids and dentists, so you can refer kids to this guy and
This guy? Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
any dental treatment to me.
yeah. Let's touch because,
And my question for you
Yeah.
is, as you have the experience of being in dental school, I don't know if you quit or you were done.
2 years.
How you can apply all these to the dentistry, like, because,
The health and we have a microbiome in our mouth.
right.
We have it, and it flourishes, and actually it's tightly connected to what's going on in here, right? So the same foods that are disrupting our gut are disrupting our mouth, right? So it's so important to honor our gut pets and making sure that we're giving them what it needs to flourish and taking away that crap, those withdrawals, as we were talking about. We need to not have those withdrawals in our life, and we need to put in more currency in the form of good quality food and healthcare. But yeah, oh, I'm big on healthcare, big. Anyone else? Okay, thank you so much.